to hear liberal whining Bush bashing on television or anyplace else. They don't want to hear it. I mean, that you got a right to say what you want to say, but you ain't gonna get no ratings.
No, listen. Here's what I propose right now.
But Phil Donahue did have a balance on his show last night.
He did?
He had a guy in there who was very, very articulate and outspoken and enthusiastic in his defense of whatever Phil and his other guest was espousing. No question. So it was a fair show.
But they're going about it the wrong way. You don't need Phil Donahue. You don't need these guys who've been around forever. You need 1 hour of Allen Iverson's mother talking about country politics.
That's what you need.
I'm telling you.
You need fat Jerry Nachman talking about whatever he wants to talk about. You need Allen Iverson's mom's there talking about her situation. And
the down low with Mrs. Iverson. with M.I.
I'm a victim of life's circumstances. I'm raised around barrooms.
just plain huge Westchester BMW. Late General George S. Patton, Jr.
At ease, as you were, people. All right, maggots. Outrage of the week, if not the decade, epoch, century, and millennium. And I feel safe in betting that you scuzzballs know what I'm referring to. Yes, Private.
Sir, the General obviously makes reference to the free pass just handed to American Taliban Johnny Walker Lind, sir.
Correct, as usual, Private. And for joining the Taliban, fighting with the Taliban, carrying a rifle and hand grenades for the Taliban, what did our crazy, mixed-up Marin County, California hot tubber get, Private?
Sir, the boy got maybe 20 years in the joint, sir.
And what should our immature, misguided, and misunderstood miscreant have gotten, Private?
Blindfold, cigarette, and a really, really bad case of lead poisoning, sir.
From eating paint, Private?
No, sir. From eating a multiple round burst of M855 standard issue ammo fired at a rate of 700 rounds a minute out of M16A2 assault rifle at a range of less than 50 meters.
Right.
So the turncoat son of a bitch flops around like a rag doll while absorbing about 1 million tissue-disrupting impacts, sir.
The private's grasp of appropriate penalty is truly inspirational. Congratulations.
Well, thank you, sir.
And yet, regrettably, Private?
Regrettably, sir, instead of looking like Sonny at the toll booth squared, Turban Boy's looking at 3 hots and a cot, exercise privileges, dietary preferences, free dental, TV in the day room, library privileges, and internet access, courtesy of Mr. and Mrs. American Taxpayer, who, of course, he wanted dead.
As dead as?
As Johnny Spann, sir, the CIA fella who somehow, one way or the other, turned up beaten, bitten, and stomped to death about 15 minutes after he'd interrogated little old Boy Scout Johnny at that Afghanistan prison. That dead, sir, if you're asking me.
Hard to disagree with your assessment once again, Private. But the big, bad United States federal government that Mr. Walker Lind despised so much for its insensitivity and injustice decided to let the bastard live.
Yep.
Terrific. I feel certain his family is vastly relieved. After all, they raised a dandy, correct, Private?
Well, that they did, sir.
In fact, we didn't know just how much of a patriot we were dealing with in Johnny Walker Lind. But by God, his old man Frank did, right?
He never, in all the interrogations that were going to be the subject of the suppression hearing, never once did John ever say anything against the United States. Never once, not one word. John loves America, and we love America. God bless America.
Well, now, I certainly feel better. Don't you, Private?
No, sir.
Well, perhaps as we listen to Jihad Johnny's mom then, okay?
This decision today will give him an opportunity to give back what he has so much to offer to the people and for the people and the world.
Well, how about that, Private? Jihad Johnny has gifts for the whole world.
The mother's a nutlog, sir.
Well, then, surely your cynicism wouldn't extend to the man's own brother, would it?
I love him. I've always been proud of him. I'm still proud of him. He's behaved with total integrity, total grace. It pains me that he is going to be away for so long, but I'm grateful still for this decision.
All right, Mr. Cynic. After that, now, what would your thoughts be regarding this family's obvious anguish, Private?
Do they have group rates on lethal injections, sir?
Excellent question, Private. And may I say, in conclusion, that, believe me, we will investigate.
Yep.
Until then, thank you for...
I also have an idea about where we could plant a flagpole in our Patriot, sir.
I'm sure that'll be taken care of, Private. Until then,
He'd better have himself a cast iron poop chute.
Fine. Thank you
Because he's gonna need it.
Thank you for your attention, Private. That is,
You're gonna be my Taliban bitch.
that is all.
That'll be enough.
That is certainly enough.
9 minutes after the hour here in the IMUS morning program. You know, all the mail we get at the IMUS Ranch, I try to read. I read most of it. Got a very nice letter here from Lynn and John Davis. Live up in Patchogue, New York.
Yeah?
They sent me a picture of two of their kids, or their two kids, two very pretty little girls. And Sophia Gloria, she's a cute little kid, and Constance Lee, I believe her name is. And they had these little birthday parties for them.
Mm-hmm.
And rather than getting gifts for the kids, why they asked people to contribute money to various charities.
Great.
And then when Sophia Gloria was born, they raised money for the United States Olympic Committee.
Mm-hmm.
And both of the children were named after apparently one of their aunts. I guess this letter's from Lynn, who was Gloria Chadwick. She's in the National Ski Hall of Fame as a member of the USOC and IOC. And Constance Lee, she just had a birthday on June 18th. And they collected about $500, some of them cash here, various checks, and people came to the party. One of them's an American Express gift check deal. But isn't that nice?
Boy, I mean, really, what a good way to observe a birthday.
Give the kids a sense of what's
No
happening.
kidding.
So,
Very nice.
the Davis folks, Lynn and John up there in Patchogue, getting it done for them. Shut up, God. Keep thinking about Mom's Iverson. Loves the girl. Well, Sid was a great sport this morning, I thought.
Yes, he was.
Bill Clinton on Jerry Nachman coming up here in just a few minutes, by the way. It's 11 minutes after the hour. Time for a little national news, world events, all that sort of thing. And with that, my friend Charles McCoy. Good morning, Charles.
Morning, I-Man. Turns out now they think, that at least 3 Palestinian terrorists dressed in Israeli army fatigues staged this elaborate and deadly ambush yesterday, in which 8 Israelis aboard a bus outside a West Bank settlement all were killed. The first was attack. Yep.
Yeah, when we talked to Tom Aspel earlier this morning, he thought 2, but now...
Yeah, well, this is... I mean, it's still in some dispute. But anyway, it was the first attack on Israeli civilians in a month. You know, since they reoccupied some of those territories, suddenly everything had gone silent. Terrorists dressed in fatigues planted 65 pounds of TNT on the road, detonated it as the bus passed by, and then, as you know, as the folks tried to get off, then they picked them off. Meanwhile, top officials of the United States, European Union, UN, and Russia met in New York for talks about Middle East violence, and Secretary of State Powell asked the Palestinian people to ask themselves, what has Yasser Arafat done to further your cause?
The leadership that they have enjoyed in recent years has not brought them any closer to a Palestinian state.
So the Israeli army is carrying out a massive manhunt now for the militants, as we learned earlier today, who carried out this attack yesterday. And high-level talks with the Palestinians had been scheduled for today. And Yasser Arafat is saying that no one is going to tell him, thank you, who can and cannot run for the presidency of the Palestinian Authority, including Mr. Arafat himself.
Put a bullet between his eyes.
Authorities in Orange County, California, are expected to announce today whether a body of a little girl found in a wooded area is that of a missing 5-year-old. Police say Samantha Runyon was abducted Monday by a man who lured her to him by asking, could she help him find his lost puppy? A couple of hang gliders spotted the body then in a field yesterday, about 50 miles from where Samantha was taken. The county sheriff says there are enough similarities that it could indeed be the youngster's body. Horrible. And the White House is promoting the plan to fight terror by getting Americans to report suspicious behavior. The so-called TIPS program encourages the average American to assist in homeland security. Here's Director Tom Ridge.
The post-9/11 environment, the enduring vulnerability that I think we all beginning to understand we must accept as a factor of life has led to greater vigilance. There's a big difference between being vigilant and being a vigilante. We just want people to use their common sense.
Those remarks after the ACLU said that they said the Justice Department program risks turning us into a a bunch of government-sanctioned peeping Toms. The ACLU says volunteers would, in effect, be searching homes without warrants, supplying information that most likely would prove a waste of time, though Director Ridge says that is not the intent and not what would happen.
14 after the hour here on the IMUS in the Morning program. More news from Bill Clinton coming up.
Take these chains from my heart and set me free. You've grown cold and no longer care for me. All my faith in you is gone, but the heartaches linger on. Take these chains from my heart and set me free. IMUS in the morning.
From Sugar.
Motive Group, Van Highway Patrol.
Coming up in 20 minutes after the hour, Christy Musumeci with a scum report coming up. All right, here now on the IMUS in the Morning program, the former president of the United States, Bill Clinton.
My fellow Americans, I have a monkey on my back. No, not Hillary, although I can see where you could naturally draw that conclusion. No, I'm addicted to the headlines. That's right. I'm Bill, and I'm a newsaholic. I can't live without knowing exactly what's going on in the world at any given moment. So I turn to MSNBC to feed that silly little simian sitting on my shoulders. And this week I witnessed the debut of 2 new shows designed to fill the gaping void left by the departure of Alan Keyes. Because although Mr. Keyes was purportedly making sense, he wasn't making ratings, thereby making way for Jerry Nachman and Phil Donahue. I don't know how we managed to survive all these years without old Phil. He's the bizarro Rush Limbaugh, the total polar opposite of the brown shirt conservatism that came to prominence during my administration. I find it a much-needed, refreshing change of pace from the right-wing conspiracy currently extant in the media. Phil's slightly to the left of Karl Marx and sensitive to women's issues, to the point where he makes Alan Alda look like Al Goldstein. In fact, Phil's so sympathetic to the female gender, I wouldn't be surprised if he's actually able to ovulate. But the real surprise is the biggest new breakout star, and I mean big in every sense of the word, Jerry Nachman. This round mound of sound was articulate, incisive, and aside from a poor choice of guests for his premiere installment, proved to be a dynamite host. He's the Dom DeLuise of daily discourse. Although I do have to take umbrage with one of his initial assertions that corporate CEOs qualify as classic case sociopaths. Selfish, yes. Those at the top of the corporate ladder could be accused of pulling up the ladder and shaking it free of everyone on a lower rung. But sociopath is, by definition, someone with a personality disorder marked by aggressive, antisocial behavior. Well, if that be the case, Don Imus is a sociopath. And by the same criteria, I believe the same could be said of Naja Davenport. I mean, I think dropping logs in a dorm room hamper qualifies as pretty aggressive antisocial behavior. And although some of the head honchos of corporate America effectively took a dump on the nest eggs of soon-to-be retirees, I think the word sociopath may be just a little strong. Most CEOs I know are very social. Seems like Jack Welch's picture's been on page 6 quite a bit lately. And Sumner Redstone's been known to paint the town, ain't he? Aggressive? Yes. Let's face it, driving determination and Horatio Alger-like good old American stick-to-itiveness are the keys to corporate success. You remember Horatio Alger, don't you? An author famous for books like Ragged Dick, about young, hard-working boys of the street. A subject he was most familiar with, as apparently he was accused of molesting quite a few of them. Ragged Dick, indeed. Now, that would qualify as pretty antisocial behavior, if you ask me. Although if these Enron guys had been Petey touchers instead of pocket liners, I don't think they'd be as universally despised now. And instead of facing criminal charges, they could always just join the clergy.
Well, that's 23 after the hour here in the IMUS Morning program. And now, time for the Scum Report. And here with that is Christy Musumeci. Good morning, Miss Musumeci.
How you doing, I-Man?
I'm fine.
So, what do you think of Sydney's performance? Were you happy with that?
Yes, I was. I think Sid's a great sport, and I think he's more than willing to humiliate himself, and we were happy to and apparently he acted as a gentleman with Cindy Fowler and Elise Weaver.
Yeah, I wouldn't be so sure of that.
Well, they were kind of cute, weren't they?
They were kind of cute.
Okay.
Very nice ladies.
Why don't they go back to Doug Newton's and find a couple of items missing?
That's the problem. Did they count their shirts when they left?
Exactly. Count all the goods there. Well, yesterday we told you about the Sopranos fans being ticked off that it's taking so long for new episodes. And today we've got an update on Robert Eiler, you know, the little brat who was arrested
Yeah.
in the Upper East Side. He's pictured in Cindy Adams' column today in the New York Post with his new girlfriend, ironically enough, named Edith Capone. I wonder if she... Isn't that funny? Al Capone's long-lost niece, or I don't know
He
what.
just broke up with Maria Gotti.
He made a play for Vicky, you know, but she didn't go for it.
Yeah.
Anyway, in the paper today, Robert is quoted as saying that his legal troubles are over. He says, it's all over now. I'm on probation. I guess you've just got to learn. Learn what? I don't really know. They just keep telling me you've got to learn it. I don't really know what they're talking about. I only know that I'm supposed to be learning it.
Still a little jackass.
I think they should name this kid Little Pussy. Sniveling Little Pussy.
Yeah.
Because I know you wanted me to get that P word in here. Speaking.
Well, it's entirely your call.
Actually, your legions of fans.
Right. Just legions.
Yeah.
Can't say it enough.
And speaking of P, P. Diddy apparently leads the pack with a real deal on MTV. I mean, this is unbelievable now. How many of these stars are going to line up trying to copy the Osbournes? Everybody wants to show their dirty laundry.
I want to see the Iversons.
Boy, no kid.
Mom's Iverson, Alan, whoever else is in the family. That's what I
think
want
that's
to see.
a great idea.
Hanging out that crib and...
It's called Good Times.
I mean,
no, it's right.
The shot that we had of them partying this weekend, Bernard was right. It looked like you could have just dropped a camera in any prison yard in America.
Seriously.
And just all wandering around there with their do-rags on, and Mom's in the house.
Chilling.
You know?
Chilling. Her show actually would be more like the Jeffersons, because Mom Iverson's been moving on up.
Well, she's...
That's right.
You have to admire the woman, though, for, you know... And she's probably right, by the way.
No, for what? I was waiting for the rest
For defending her son.
Any woman would defend their son.
Well, okay.
All right. She's got a big mouth.
Yes, but I can't believe that you're not a Mom's Iverson fan,
She
Bernie.
was threatening the reporter. Where'd you get that story from? Don't you be going there. Don't you be asking me that. Well, it was in the newspaper. That's why I'm bringing it up with you. If you're going to talk to the press, you're going to answer some questions. You got to answer that question.
Well, why didn't the reporter respond with that information?
She was probably worried.
Maybe Moms didn't have time to read the New York Times that morning, Bernie.
She was worried she was going to get cut, the reporter.
Mom was like, for real, I'm going to smack you in the face. You get it?
That'll be fine. We don't need.
Have a nice day. Have a nice day.
Right. I'm just doing what my news director told me. I just had to get a soundbite. I'm sorry, Mrs. Iverson.
Do not kill me.
But to be honest, to be fair, though, Iverson is not, he didn't do what Jason Williams did. He's not an O.J. character. You know.
Yeah.
He had a little domestic dispute.
He showed up with a gun at somebody's apartment. I mean, let's not get hysterical here.
Looking for his naked wife.
Sure. Yeah.
Right, who he kicked out of the house.
You know.
Yeah.
I changed my mind, bitch.
How do we know, though? I mean, how do we know that the girl was kicked out the house naked?
Well, those were the reports that he kicked her out.
Do we have any photographs of the woman being...
According to his cousin and his boyfriend there. By the way, I heard the cousin is he's in your Carl Lewis area, which is neither here nor there.
He's a track star?
Yeah, I'm man for three. He's,
Fine.
which is no problem. But he's the one who gave that testimony, or he gave that account to the police.
So we got some hysterical flit claiming that Allen Iverson's Tawana was thrown out the house naked.
Exactly.
Oh, no, I'm not buying that.
No justice, no peace.
Yeah. Don't go there with that.
Nuh-uh.
I'm not buying that.
Where you heard that from? Where you heard that from, boy?
Yeah.
You think y'all don't go through up and down? Come on, get a grip. Because AI is AI, we got to go through that, and we'll go through it.
Do ups and downs include
God
throwing
his
your wife
back.
out naked?
Excuse me?
Do ups and downs include throwing your wife out
Don't
naked?
get out of my face with that crazy stuff.
That's only
wrong.
hearsay.
Where you get that from?
That's hearsay.
Because somebody told it to you?
True.
Did Tawana tell you that?
Yeah.
Don't ask me nothing. Did Tawana tell you that?
I haven't spoken with her.
All right, then. Don't go there with me.
That's why
Don't go there with me. Don't go there with me. You want to keep it real, you keep it real with me. Because I ain't for no game.
Bored as hell and I want to get ill. So I go to a place where my homeboys chill. Fellas out there trying to make that dollar. I pulled up in the 6'4" Impala. Greeted with the 40 and I start drinking. From the 8-ball, my breath starts stinking. I gotta get my girl to rock that body. Before I left, I hit the Bacardi. Pulled to the house, get her out of the pad. And the bitch said something to make me mad. She said something that I couldn't believe. So I grabbed the stupid bitch by her nappy ass weave. Started talking shit, wouldn't you know? I reached back like a pimp and I slapped the hoe. And her father stood up and he started to shout. So I threw her right cross and knocked his old ass out. Cause the boys in the hood are always hard. Come talking that trash and we'll pull your card. Knowing nothing in life but to be legit. Don't quote me, boy, I ain't said shit. IMUS in the morning.
Had a shot at Dick Grasso on CNBC with a crowd of folks on the podium there. Yeah. Ringing the opening bell for the New York Stock Exchange. Well, I TiVo'd the Calgary Stampede, the finals, and I was wrong. Fred Whitfield did not win the calf roping. So, and I think Joe Beaver missed his first calf on the first day. So you're out after that. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't understand that. They're not good. So. Here on line one is Emmett from Kansas City. Good morning, Emmett.
Hey, what's going on, man? How you doing, baby?
I'm all right. What's up with you?
Oh, man, I just heard the worst news, man. You're going off the air here in Kansas City, man. Somebody's dropping the ball big time, man. Need to get Bo or somebody down there to straighten somebody out. You know what I'm saying?
The station was sold, so which happens.
Man, what are we going to do? Why don't you go ahead and buy a station down here, and I'll run it for you, man. We just keep you 24/7 like in Atlanta. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't know what to do.
Man, I don't know what to do either. I'm tripping, man. No more Flatlanders, man. You know what I mean? I got to drive out of town just to catch you now. It's terrible. I'm dying, man.
Well, ratings way up in New York. So I don't know.
Maybe I should come up there and take Christie's job, huh?
I don't know. Coughing here.
Oh, man, I hope you're okay, man. Don't go nowhere on us now. Come on.
Well, we're screwed because nobody's going to cover for me, but I'm
where did you learn to speak Ebonics down here, Emmett, in Kansas City?
What's that?
Where did you learn to speak Ebonics? You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
you know
come on, man. Hey, man, I'm a big white Irish man from Texas, baby. You know what I mean? I got to learn all the languages, baby. I got it all covered.
Got to use the P word, too. Is Mrs. Iverson your aunt?
Hey, man, check this out, yo. Miss Iverson is my auntie. And anyway, man, check this out. I got a snappy little fiance.
I hear you.
She's a little young, you know, like the I-man's old lady. She's a little younger than me, so maybe she could be my little sidekick.
What kind of truck do you drive?
I just drive a 26-foot box truck. I'm just a delivery man, you know.
Well,
backing out one day.
That's fine. No problem
cool,
with that.
Man. I ain't got no problems, man. Hey, man, you know what? Another thing, man. You're doing a good thing for all these kids all over America, man. You're the best time, man. Good salsa, good chips.
Yo, be you on the crystal meth or what, yo?
Wow.
Go down to that radio station and kick some ass. That's what you need to do.
Hey, yeah, you're right, man. Like I said, I'm hooking up with a couple of Bo Dietls, Goombas down here in the tie-in section. We can whip some ass out, man.
Mm-hmm.
Here on line 2 is Frank from New Jersey. Good morning, Frank.
How you doing?
I'm choking.
I got a new name for Matthew's show.
Chris Matthews?
Yeah, the show should be called Hardball for Republicans, Softball for Democrats.
Well, good. We got to get the message. People at NBC.
He's some kind of right-wing nut, Frank?
No. You see, the thing is, it's the way they interview the two sides.
Right.
They're easy, and the other day when Kerry was on, I mean, Matthew's nose still must smell from being up his butt so deep.
All right.
Oh, come on, Frank. Now you're getting out of line here. Calm down. You're getting
Menendez says he doesn't think Pakistan's President Musharraf will actually go so far as to risk nuclear war.
I'm sure he doesn't want to kill all the Pakistanis. I don't think even the people of Pakistan will allow him to do that.
Musharraf promises Pakistan what?
Who is that?
That was the Indian defense minister.
Please don't read the magazines unless you're going to buy. I only have quick pick today. We don't carry Powerball here. No. Out, please. No, you can't loan me the money for tomorrow or whatever. You pay me now.
IMUS in the morning.
Musharraf is promising that Pakistan will not be launching a first strike against India.
All that I can do is to give my own assurance that we will try to avoid conflict. I think you have two magazines there. Open up. Let me see this. Let me see this right now. Open up. I'll call the police. I'll call them right now. Right now.
In the morning. Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
You have thinning hair? I bet you hate it, don't you? I know I did. But I decided I wasn't going to take it anymore. I also knew I didn't want to go through the...
Van Highway Patrol.
17 till the hour here in the IMUS morning program. Dow Jones Industrial average up 226 points at this point.
Whoa, wow.
And the curbs are in.
Holy cow.
Which means the computers kick in and won't, so it doesn't go crazy. So it's already up. It's already been open.
Yeah. What
13 minutes, up 200 points. So.
Bring on the Bulls, baby. Exactly. Let's go.
But, well,
you're looking to recoup after you lost $40 million last week, I mean.
Well, come on, irrational gloom.
America Online up to $13.
13?
Screaming back.
Screaming back, baby. Screaming back. So that's what I'm saying now. Well, today could be the day. You know?
What do you mean?
Get Vinny on the phone.
Get a bottle.
Bail out of that.
Get a couple of lines.
This could be the day.
Let's do the 80s and 90s all over.
Sure.
Again.
Oh, that'd be great.
15 years is enough.
15 years today since I've had a drink.
That's, honestly, all kidding aside, congratulations.
That's enough, don't you think?
It is
It's way too much time.
I
Absolutely.
I really made my point.
You have. You've gone further than anybody would have expected, and I think you ought to celebrate like Bernie said, with an 8-ball and a couple of hookers.
Sure.
You know,
make a dick liquor run, and
there were those. I go over there to Dick's Liquor.
Sure.
And
absolutely.
You want a Dick's Liquor T-shirt, by the way, Chuck?
I'd love a Dick Liquor T-shirt.
I really would. Dick Liquor. Dick's Liquor.
Oh,
it's the name of the establishment in Las Vegas,
I thought
Nevada.
it was a guy
Las Vegas, New Mexico.
It's not Dick Liquor.
No, it's Dick's Liquor.
I'm sorry.
Hello, Dick Liquor. Can we help you?
See, Christy.
My mistake.
This is not Dick.
I'm quite certain Christy would want one. So.
And a boot, for that matter.
Yeah. There are a lot of people we know who probably would want one, in addition to Chucker.
Yeah.
Where'd you get that Dick Liquor
Get that
T-shirt?
snappy T-shirt.
No.
Dawn, I want
There's
one
an
of
apostrophe S there.
Dawn.
Oh, it's the possessive Dick.
Yeah, Dick's Liquor.
I get it.
Yeah. So.
Making
all
We're quibbling.
Out here in the hood, we just call it Dick Liquors.
Of course.
Go over to Dick Liquors and get yourself.
Where y'all going? Over to Dick Liquor?
Yeah.
Get myself
15 till the hour. Here in the IMUS morning program, Sid Rosenberg in this morning in his Dale Evans outfit supplied by the folks from Billy Martin's.
Yep.
Oh, they were great. The girls were great. Elise and Cindy were both beautiful and very helpful. And really, I know Doug Newton set the whole thing up. He did a fantastic job. He really did. And if you want,
good sport, Sid.
Well, I have the song. I sang it about an hour and 40 minutes ago, and I've got it here. If you'd like to hear it one more time, my version of Dale Evans' Happy Trails.
Yes, I would like to hear it again.
Lou, Maestro.
Maybe we can join in.
Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you. Keep smiling until then. Who cares about the clouds when we're together? Just sing a song and bring the sunny weather. Happy trails to you until we meet again. That's the song. Yeah, that's it.
That was pretty good, son. Of course, you can't sing, but that's fine. You made a very good effort here.
Yes, you did.
Mm-hmm.
Admirable.
Well,
fulfilled your end of the bargain.
I did. See, that's the one thing you have to admit at this point. That
man of your word.
That's right.
Yeah.
So far, I'm 2 for 2. So.
Well, let's just not make any more bets.
Well, that's not gonna happen. Something's gonna pop up any time now.
Well.
You'll bring somebody else into the studio that I think is awful. In fact, even Holly Barton. What's her name?
Who?
Who was the girl yesterday?
Luann.
Luann Barton.
She was awful. And we can make it
What
better.
do you mean awful?
Oh, my God.
Terrible.
That girl's got a gift.
I know
What
it's
are you talking
Stevie
about?
Ray's brother, so I'm not going to knock on Jimmy, but that was...
She was great.
No.
Hard-looking bitch she was.
I
she
know.
was
Ooh,
doing
well,
well.
man. Oof,
Man, oh,
Wow.
she's been around.
Nasty looking.
Come on. Come on.
Well?
Well, nothing. That's the fact of the matter.
She would set you on fire in your bed with your PJs on.
Sure.
Man,
While you passed out drunk.
that stare would melt the Taliban.
Jimmy is not over there on the cheating side of town with that woman.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I rented hit when she came
man.
in.
She would pull a knife on him.
How you sleep with Allen Iverson's mom?
You know what the funny part was? If you're listening to the show in your car, you kept saying how, Jimmy, I could see how, you fell for this girl. I can see how she reeled you in. It wouldn't be until somebody actually saw these two or had the opportunity to come into the studio where they would realize that, you were snowing this guy the whole time.
You know, she wears the strap on.
I know.
You can seize the man of that
It felt like Jimmy's the eye man, You know what I'm saying?
He's not even close.
Yeah, so...
Not even close.
No, he's not a drunk.
No, so, so Jimmy, but they hooked up back in 1970, too.
Yeah. Wow.
So it's 30 years.
He's doing life without parole, this guy. That woman is hard. Oh.
Imagine if she was in a bad mood.
But she can sing. That's my point.
She can. That's all that counts.
I bet you she doesn't make the top 10.
Pardon me?
Bet you right now, they don't make the top 10.
Well, you probably are right there, but...
Well, come on, put it on the line here.
Well, no, I'm not going to put it... That's not... The Flatlanders is a hit record.
Listen to me. All you got to do is go back on Larry King, offer $50,000 to some station in America, and I'll be wearing some other woman's clothes next week.
That's a tough sell. But, there's a market for Texas blues,
In Texas. That's
Yeah,
why they call it
probably,
Texas
yeah.
blues. I never heard it called Brooklyn blues, have you?
No, I have not.
That's when you move back to town.
So, no, I agree with you. That might be, that would be pushing the envelope.
Richmond Hills Blues.
Blues having a silly hour here on the Iverson Wayne program, Sid Rosenberg said.
I walk from Flatbush down to Coney Island. My feet are still sore. I ride the Cyclone. I want some more.
Hey, Lou, get me a copy of Springsteen's new album. Is it out yet?
No, the whole album's not out, but the song The Rising is out.
How's that?
It's fantastic. And a lot of the songs on the album, by the way, are almost a direct tribute to the disaster from September the 11th.
Right.
And there was a couple of lyrics actually in the paper on Sunday from some of the songs. But The Rising is the one that's been released, and it is a fantastic song.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. It's not waving my heart goodbye, clearly.
And Bruce is back rocking. Is that the deal?
Back with the E Street Band. This is the first album they've done together, Iron Man, in 18 years since Born in the USA.
Mm-hmm.
So this is then he's actually back on the road. Mighty Max Weinberg got permission from Conan to leave that slot and join the band. So the E Street Band back together and Springsteen back on the road. We should get Bruce in here one morning.
Not bad.
Right. 41 shots. F you.
Man, how's it going out there at the range, man?
The thing, the preacher thing he does when he introduces the band.
Yeah, you don't like that?
In concert. Got to stop doing that, man. That makes your skin crawl. That's so lame.
It is, right?
Oh, God, come on.
Yeah, you know what? You're right, man. Just bring Randy Travis back out there. You don't want Bruce.
No.
You don't want to go through all that
No, I'm
garbage.
not saying that. I'm just saying.
Introducing Clarence Clemens and Stevie Van Zandt. You don't want that.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I just think, he was the guys in the band, and we all know who they are anyway, so.
Yeah, you Sid Rosenberg. You're the guy that stole them shirts, aren't you?
The midget on guitar now,
Nils, great man.
Nils, yeah.
Great man. We
Yes, I understand that.
can't leave today's show without playing the Iverson audio again before we can't. We cannot close out today's Iverson program without playing the Iverson audio again.
Well,
let's play Iverson's mother again. You want to?
Let me hear it now.
You're going to play it, me?
Yeah, why don't you play it? Play Iverson's mother. This is Iverson's mother on Allen yesterday.
You think y'all don't go through up and down? Come on, get a grip. Because AI is AI, we got to go through that, and we'll go through it.
Do ups and downs include
God got his
throwing your wife
back.
out naked?
Excuse me?
Do ups and downs include throwing your wife out
Girl,
naked?
get out of my face with that crazy stuff. That's wrong. Where you get that from? Because somebody told it to you? Did Tawana tell you that?
Yeah.
Did Tawana? Don't ask me nothing. Did Tawana tell you that?
I haven't spoken with Tawana.
All right, then. Don't go there with me. Don't go there with me. Don't go there with me. You want to keep it real, you keep it real with me. Because I ain't for no games.
Well, it's like being in an A&P in South Bronx A&P anywhere.
God.
So want to tell you that? What's he tell you? No, yeah. Where's your boy at? I don't know. I ain't seen him in days, man.
Sounds a little bit like Shanae. You ever seen the Martin Lawrence show? Remember that character Shanae? Doesn't that sound like a little bit? Actually, I look like her too. Oh, jeez.
That's fine.
Well,
the courtroom scene's gonna look good.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Bitches off the hook.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love that.
I'd like to call Mrs. Iverson to the stand, please.
I ain't ready. Call somebody else.
Where's my pocketbook?
Keep my lipstick on first. You don't call TV?
Get that Dan Abrams interview of her.
What you talking about, white boy?
What are you saying, keep it real for, Mrs. Iverson? Now, what do you mean by that? Keep it real.
Means I know you got your job because you're a daddy. That's what I mean by keeping it real. Keep it real with that phony hairdo you got. You got them plugs in your head. I know that, too. Everybody know that. Everybody afraid to say that, though. I ain't afraid. I'm going to say it right now on court TV. Dan Abrams wears plugs. Right? That's keeping it real. That's what I'm saying. Now what? Now what you was asking me?
Have a nice day. Have a nice day.
Yeah. Quote dismissed, right?
Have a nice day. Good luck tomorrow.
All of y'all MFers, man. I ain't playing no more.
How come we can't? How come these people won't come on the show like Nadja Davenport
or his attorney?
Or Moms Iverson.
I mean, it's not like, we don't make fun of him or anything like that. I mean, why wouldn't they want to come on the program?
Well, we make fun of everybody. I mean,
let them come on and tell their story.
We can make fun of John McCain and John Kerry. We can make fun of Moms Iverson. That's where I'm coming from with that.
Well,
Keep that real.
If Nadja Davenport was to come on the show right now, what would the story be? What would he say?
Oh, I don't know. I'd like to ask him.
I think I'd
like to ask him what happened. I want to know why he pinched off a loaf in the girl's laundry basket. That's all. What exactly was going on?
Who told you that?
Where you heard that?
Who told you I pinched a loaf?
That's hearsay.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he didn't.
Don't be going there. Don't you be going there with pinching a loaf.
Maybe anybody do a DNA on the crap? I don't think they did.
I mean, maybe there's an explanation. Well, there's got to be an explanation of some sort. Maybe may not be an acceptable one, but there certainly is some explanation.
Well, I'm sure Alan Iverson's mother has an explanation for Nadja Davenport.
Well,
I know, Nadja. Don't you be going there.
Has anybody talked, by the way, to Mrs. Iverson, Tawana?
No, I don't think that. No one's even seen her since last Wednesday. I think was the last time she's actually.
She's back home.
Oh, where? In Iverson's house?
Yeah, in the crib.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No one's talked to her.
Well, it might be. Maybe you'd like to talk to her, see what her deal is.
I think that's a great idea.
They take the gag out of her mouth in the handcuffs off. She's probably tied up in a closet somewhere.
Well,
next to a bucket of feces.
Oh, Jesus, come on.
Who told you that?
Yeah, where'd you get that?
That's hearsay.
Get out of my face with that crazy stuff.
Feces, keep it real.
Did Tawana tell you that?
Honey, where's Eureka? I want to get that beehive off the deck.
IMUS in the Morning is a presentation of WFAN and Westwood One Entertainment. Are we clear on this, sweetheart?
Celebrating 15 years as the flagship station for New York sports and your home for IMUS in the morning. Mac and Sid in middays and Mike and the Mad Dog in the afternoon. We're the Fan, Sports Radio 66, WFAN New York, an Infinity broadcasting station. WFAN 2020 Sports.
Good morning at 10 o'clock. This is John Minka.
It'll be a 2-2. Swung on, and there goes to right. It is high. It is far. Oh, it is gone. Oh, Nick Johnson hit a bullet over the Yankees bullpen into the seats. It is a home run for Nick Johnson in the ninth. And the Yankees take a 7-6 lead.
And that would turn out to be the winning hit in tonight. Low 76, sunshine tomorrow, high 96. Your current Central Park temperature is 77 degrees, sunshine at this hour. That's what's happening. This is John Minko with 2020 Sports on WFAN. Your home for the Mike and the Mad Dog program, weekdays 1 until 6:30.
Mink Man, what are Tiger Woods' odds to win the British Open?
13-8, according to a bookmaker in London.
Ironically enough, those are the same exact odds for you to make it through the season this year as the coach of your team. 13-8 says you're going down and you're going down hard.
The results are in, and Middle End Ford Trucks in Secaucus, New Jersey, has been awarded Ford Motor Company's
5 after 10 here on the Fan. Oh, it's going to be a hot one here in the city. It's Mac and Sid. I'm Joseph
Anthony Aloysius McDonald Jr. It would be Sidney Arthur. Don't call me Dale. Rosenberg.
Good morning, Jody Mack.
It's nice to see you in a men's shirt.
It is nice, isn't it?
It's a nice men's shirt, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, thank you very much, yeah. It was quite a morning on the IMUS in the Morning show, yes.
I give you credit, Sid, because you're a man of your word. You pay your bets.
Well, not always. In fact, there are a couple of people listening right now that are going, what? Excuse me? But in the case with IMUS, you're 1,000% right, Jody Mack.
And I would like to say you're a better man than me, but after watching today's performance, I don't think I need to say that.
Yeah, well,
Not saying much.
I'll tell you what, though, the two girls that came in.
Outstanding.
Huh? Cindy and Elise, were they hot?
Yeah.
Little cowboy girls in those outfits at 7 o'clock in the morning, man, they were looking good.
That was well worth you wearing a Dale Evans outfit. I guess I should thank you for that.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I was getting naked in the back changing because I wore 3 different outfits this morning, and they were in there with me. It was great.
Yeah, I think we would have heard more on it if you were actually naked in the back.
Well,
that was in Imus's office, right?
That was in Imus's
So
office.
what you're saying here now is you were naked in Imus's office.
Not naked, boxer shorts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we've already skimmed back from naked to boxer shorts.
Right.
But you were in boxer shorts in Imus's office.
That is absolutely correct.
I wonder if Don's still listening. That could be a topic of conversation come Friday. Anywho, Mets get a nice win yesterday. We were out early because the Mets played an early game, so all the camp kids could go out and watch them continue to swing the bat. Timo, Vaughn, Fonzie, they're all playing real well, hitting real well. Josh Beckett's going to be a real good pitcher, but you could tell he was a guy who had missed basically 6 weeks of action because he looked real rusty. And then once he got his stuff together, he actually retired a bunch of Mets in a row. But by that time, the Mets had put the game away. Said they're now only 7.5 games back in the wild card race. 11.5 in division, but 7.5 in the wild card race. Are you opening your mind to the possibility that they're still in this?
No. And look, I don't want to rain on anybody's parade. And offensively, they've been great. 40-something runs over the last 7 games. They've won 5 of their last 7 games.
45 and 6.
Yeah, okay, that's pretty good. That's you're talking about 7.5 runs a game at that clip. Let's be honest here for a second. The day that the Marlins traded Ryan Dempster to Cincinnati and Cliff Floyd to Montreal was the day that I believe not only did the organization give up on the rest of the season, so did the players. It looks to me like I'm watching a team in Florida that is just going through the motions. Now,
3 minutes after the hour.
Hey, IMUS in the morning.
We say all coming up.
Like a fool, I went and stayed too long. I'm wondering if your love's still strong. Ooh, baby, here I am. I'm still delivered. I'm yours. IMUS in the morning.
Another.
What are you doing?
All right, baby, how are you?
Hey, congratulations on the rating, by the way.
Thank you.
I mean, while you were on vacation, I guess Tom Brokaw knew you were out of town, and so did a little interesting broadcast. I cut a little piece on June 26th, and here's Tom Brokaw to tell you the rest of the story.
We've learned details of a secret meeting that apparently convinced President Bush to say that Arafat has to go without quite naming him. But Arafat today made it quite clear he is not taking orders from the White House. NBC's chief foreign affairs correspondent is Andrea Mitchell, now in depth.
You know, you're a moron.
Hey, that's great. Come on. That was a good piece, man.
Oh, well, I mean, come on here.
Speaking about moron, I think you're the biggest moron there is.
Eat me.
Listen, you dunderhead.
Give me a pack of Marlboros and a magazine and a Slurpee and be quiet, will you?
Oh, snap.
All right, here now on the IMUS in the Morning program, the former president of the United States, Bill Clinton.
My fellow Americans, I have a monkey on my back. No, not Hillary, although I can see where you could naturally draw that conclusion. No, I'm addicted to the headlines. That's right. I'm Bill, and I'm a newsaholic. I can't live without knowing exactly what's going on in the world at any given moment. So I turn to MSNBC to feed that silly little simian sentence. Departure of Alan Keyes, because although Mr. Keyes was purportedly making sense, he wasn't making ratings, thereby making way for Jerry Nachman and Phil Donahue. I don't know how we managed to survive all these years without old Phil. He's the bizarro Rush Limbaugh, the total polar opposite of the brown shirt conservatism that came to prominence during my administration. I find it a much-needed, refreshing change of pace from the right-wing conspiracy currently extant in the media. Phil's slightly to the left of Karl Marx and sensitive to women's issues, to the point where he makes Alan Alda look like Al Goldstein. In fact, Phil's so sympathetic to the female gender, I wouldn't be surprised if he's actually able to ovulate. But the real surprise is the biggest new breakout star, and I mean big in every sense of the word, Jerry Nachman. This round mound of sound was articulate, incisive, and aside from a poor choice of guests for his premiere installment, proved to be a dynamite host. He's the Dom DeLuise of daily discourse. Although I do have to take umbrage with one of his initial assertions that corporate CEOs qualify as classic case sociopaths. Selfish, yes. Those at the top of the corporate ladder could be accused of pulling up the ladder and shaking it free of everyone on a lower rung. But sociopath is, by definition, someone with a personality disorder marked by aggressive antisocial behavior. Well, if that be the case, Don Imus is a sociopath. And by the same criteria, I believe the same could be said of Naja Davenport. I mean, I think dropping logs in a dorm room hamper qualifies as pretty aggressive antisocial behavior. And although some of the head honchos of corporate America effectively took a dump on the nest eggs of soon-to-be retirees, I think the word sociopath may be just a little strong. Most CEOs I know are very social. Seems like Jack Welch's picture's been on page 6 quite a bit lately. And Sumner Redstone's been known to paint the town, ain't he? Aggressive? Yes. Let's face it, driving determination and Horatio Alger-like good old American stick-to-itiveness are the keys to corporate success. You remember Horatio Alger, don't you? An author famous for books like Ragged Dick, about young, hard-working boys of the street. A subject he was most familiar with, as apparently he was accused of molesting quite a few of them. Ragged Dick, indeed. Now, that would qualify as pretty antisocial behavior, if you ask me. Although if these Enron guys had been Petey touchers instead of pocket liners, I don't think they'd be as universally despised now. And instead of facing criminal charges, they could always just join the clergy.
Beat on the brat, beat on the brat with the baseball bat. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh ho. IMUS in the morning.
All right, let me talk to you now.
Because you know what? He's remote controlled by Sheriff.
But now, MTV presents the real-life exploits of a superstar athlete and his family.
Alan, how many times I have to tell you not to leave your gun around the house? This ain't a toy. This a 45 caliber pistol. You don't want to end up like your friend Jason Williams now, do you?
Spend some time up close and personal with one of the NBA's most controversial players and his larger-than-life family.
Yeah, man, I ain't doing no time. I did 2 months back at high school before the governor gave me a pass. My days in the joint is over.
Allen Iverson, admired by basketball fans everywhere. But nobody loves him more than his mama.
Alan, did you put that naked girl out on the street? Bring that girl back in here right this minute. Put some clothes on her.
It's Off the Hook at the Iversons.
Alan, did I find marijuana in your glove compartment? What did I tell you about smoking that chiba? That's the devil's weed.
Witness the mundane, everyday dealings of a typical American family.
Alan, did you have one of your football friends over here yesterday? I went to do the laundry this morning, and I ain't gonna tell you what I found in the hamper.
Mama Iverson.
You tell that Nausea he got to use the bathroom like everybody else. You hear me now? Mama's not playing.
Keeping it real.
This is a Christian house. We do not defecate in the closet.
And defending her child against the cruel world outside.
Don't be saying nothing bad about Island. That's my baby you talking about. And get that microphone out my face before I have to get in your ass. And not the way you want me to.
The Iversons, coming to MTV.
Alan, we late for court. Hurry up and comb your hair. I don't know why you gotta wear it all nappy like that, looking like crop circles. And wearing that do-rag and all those tattoos, my lord. Why can't you look nice and wear a suit like OJ?
Matthews just called, Chuck. Well, no, not good. I said he can't call on time. Done. He's not going to be on. That's it. I mean, who are you kidding? Come on. I mean, wake up.
Well, I hear mariachi static on the radio.
and the tubes, they glow in the dark. And I'm there with her in Ensenada, and I'm here in Echo Park. Carmelita, hold me tighter. I think I'm sinking down, and I'm all strung out on heroin on the outskirts of town. Well, I'm sitting here playing solitaire with my pearl handle deck. The county won't give me no more methadone, and they cut off your welfare check. Carmelita, hold me tighter. I think I'm sinking down, and I'm all strung out on heroin on the outskirts of town. Carmelita, hold me tighter. I think I'm sinking down. I'm all strung out on heroin on the outskirts of town.
Cut off the good check. That's cold.
IMUS in the morning.
Your son hit you up for a 3-digit price pair of sneakers? Your daughter really, really needed that cute...
I mean, it's not happening for you. And all we're trying to do is trying to help you. You got this smug attitude because you're on television. And, you know, and then you, I mean, you people are delusional. I mean, Phil Donahue is delusional. And Matthews has so bought into his own act that it's offensive. It's pathetic. You got to wake up. You're not getting it done. You suck, and nobody's watching you. And we're trying to help you. But you got some attitude. You think you can call 5 minutes late? Well, then you're not going to be. You're not ever going to be. You're never ever going to be on ever. If you get Jesus on your show, you're not going to be. Well, first of all, he wouldn't go on your show. Ain't nobody watching.
Right, he wants to reach the people.
Jesus wants to talk to the masses, baby. Get the fishes in the loaves for the peeps.
You're right.
Not you morons. I mean, really got to wake up. And Matthews, I mean, you can't get phonier than he is. You remember when the Bush story broke?
Sure.
He's running his mouth about there wasn't anything to the story, and then he puts his finger in the wind, his fat finger in the wind.
Right, says, well...
Scrapes off the IHOP waffle juice. And then realize, well, and then starts beating that to death. Wake up. It's not happening. I mean, it's ridiculous. And we got this moron producing our program, Bigfoot, over there, begging us to put these people on.
You can't find them.
And then these a-holes don't show up. Almost slipped there.
Well, that was really.
I mean, it's ridiculous. Bigfoot Bigfoot's our Bob Pittman. He's a moron.
Smoke and mirrors, man.
No, he's a nitwit. Stop calling us and telling us to get these people on, and they don't show up. I got 10 million people listening to the red. Check the books. You people there ain't nobody watching. Look in the control room. You got people reading magazines. What are you, nuts?
I man sure has a mean temperature.
I mean, that's ridiculous. 18 minutes till the hour here in the IMUS in the Morning program. On a far more serious note, with a horrible story. On line 6 for NBC News from Stanton, California, here's Shelley Smith. Good morning, Miss Smith.
Good morning, Imus.
How are you?
I'm okay. Hanging in there like the rest of us.
Where is...
Nickel for the Warnock Automotive Group Fan Highway Patrol.
All right, Sid, we'll get to you in just a second, okay?
Okay, great. Let's hear this song instead.
Okay, Jimmy Dale, the Flatlanders.
Standing in the station, I got no destination. I'm waving my heart goodbye.
Come on, jump in, Tom.
I'm walking in the crowd and I'm talking out loud and I'm telling myself don't cry. And Lord, I'd rather not forget waving my heart goodbye. I know it's not to blame, but it's leaving just the same, and nobody ever asked it why. Standing in the rain, wondering if the train will stop before the tears will dry. Standing in the station, it's a sad situation, I'm waving my heart goodbye. It's moving down the track and it ain't looking back, and I'm feeling like I could die. A train is made to roam like a heart without a home, and I'm thinking maybe so was I.
Little taste of Jimmy Dale Gilmore, Butch Hancock, and Joe Ely, the Flatlanders. A waving my heart goodbye. Sid got his Billy Martin cowboy shirt on this morning.
I'm into it now. It's in me. It's like the devil. I'm possessed. I'm possessed with the Flatlanders and cowboy outfits.
The Flatlanders will be here at the ranch on August 3rd. August 2nd, they'll be at the Paramount in Santa Fe, New Mexico. So if you want to see them there, just call the Paramount, get yourself some tickets, and check them out. How are you this morning, Sid?
You know, I'm great, man. And I was just trying to...
Hey, by the way, I didn't mean to blame Bigfoot.
No.
Tom Bowman. It's not his fault that the MSNBC people suck.
Yeah.
And are irresponsible, delusional nitwits. But, I mean, they got to wake up.
Well, I found this sentence interesting.
Am I right about that, Bernie?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Tom's doing all he can to get him on the program. And
Tom's getting screwed, so... I mean, I'm not entirely happy with Tom, but I mean...
They're screwing Tom and the I-Man.
Yeah, so... Anyway, what were you saying, Sid?
Charles is like Peter Brady this morning.
What?
Charles
And
like Peter
I-Man.
Brady on the Brady Bunch.
It's not good.
The sentence that I found most interesting during your when you were yelling at them, which was deservedly so, was, let me quote this for you. You guys suck. Nobody watches your show, but we're trying to help you.
Well, we are trying to help them. Trying to get people to watch him. I mean, I would actually watch Nachman at 7 o'clock Eastern Time.
He was good with you yesterday, I'll tell you that.
But the guy's unbelievable.
He's good.
I mean, I don't have any agenda with him, but I mean, the guy is fabulous.
He was good. Chris
But
Matthews
Donahue,
is a
I mean,
jerk.
they're going to realize Donahue, I mean, he's probably a nice guy. He's dreadful. It's dreadful. So, I mean, you can do whatever they want to do, but it's not going to work. I mean, I can look at these emails, and I mean, it's not a mother-in-law survey. I'm not doing my show based on emails from morons watching this program with computers. However, I mean, it's just clear. It's not going to happen. It's over. It won't happen. So you do whatever you want, but...
So Matthews is never coming back on this show, right?
No, never.
That's good. He's a jerk anyway.
It's the second time he's done this.
Nobody likes him anyway. He's a loudmouth.
Guy's a loudmouth, delusional nitwit.
He really is.
Now, wait a second now. An hour ago, you liked him.
I do like him, but I mean, he's...
And Donahue, he's got great potential, and it's
Donahue has no
provocative.
potential. Okay.
He's from the left, but he's...
I do like him.
Okay.
He's never coming on again, but I like
No,
him.
he's not coming on again.
I love the guy.
I love him.
He's a great
Oh,
guy.
I do like certain things about him. I mean, I can like the guy. He's not coming
He
on.
does a very good show, too.
Fine. Not going to work. Not going to happen.
Tell him they got to watch.
Go to the Swatch shop.
Bernie, you tell him F him. Get him off.
Hey, big deal at the stadium tonight. Pedro Martinez and Mike Messina.
That's the big deal, man.
Huge game.
Red
Huge game.
Sox, Yankees, you know, the Red Sox have an opportunity, if they can win all 3 games at the stadium this weekend,
Yeah,
to tie the Yankees for first place.
Huh?
Doesn't seem likely, though. The Yankees
Let's get
are
it
playing.
on.
Well, let's get it on. That's exactly right. Yankees and Red Sox both won yesterday. Mets lost yesterday. St. Louis won again yesterday. Charles, you'll be happy to know that. A little bit of a brawl, actually, in that Cardinal game as Jimmy Edmonds took one on. What's that?
What was there?
What?
I can't.
Oh, God, shut up, Charles.
Just tell us the story, Sid. Just tell us the story.
Poor Charles coming in here on a stretcher.
Sid keeps going, what?
You son
Charles
of
is dying.
No,
It's making him repeat his
No,
sentences.
no.
That's great.
I love Charles, but he's leaving in a body bag today.
No, but I mean, the guy... Nobody I know would come to work in the shape Charles is in.
No.
Nobody. Well, I would, but I mean,
Right.
nobody else.
Well, Bernie said you have been for like 2 years now.
It was the most successful offer ever conceived by the auto industry. 0%.
Matthews is a pushy loudmouth, but much better than Donahue. The arrogant, has-been, misguided left-winger who acts like an adolescent having a temper tantrum, all while making us sick with his patronizing grin. Not a bad assessment.
That's pretty good.
IMUS, you arrogant bastard. How many times have you kept high-profile guests waiting on line because you got behind? The most recent was Senator John Kerry. In the future, these busy people should tell you to, I just don't think that's going to happen.
No, I don't think so.
No.
That's the way it works.
They'll be on when I tell them to be on.
Yeah.
That was from Tom Bowman.
You arrogant bastard.
O'Reilly owns 8 p.m. Donahue and Chung can hang it up. That's probably true. Ann Coulter bitch-slapped Donahue with facts while he tried to bludgeon her with unsupported innuendo. That was Bernie's assessment, essentially, right, Bernie?
Yeah, pretty much. But it made for an entertaining couple of segments is the bottom line. But she definitely, she's got some testosterone flowing. Look, that chick.
The only decent thing on MSNBC is IMUS, and you don't even work for him, which is true. Nachman is good. I'm telling you guys watch Nachman. That guy, you'll love him. I mean, the guy is great. He's as good as O'Reilly. He's better, probably. I mean, he's not on at the same time. He's on at 7.
Yeah, so...
You watch him, and you watch whatever you want to watch.
Right. Well, give him a shot.
Christie looks identical to a girl who was a regular contestant in the wet T-shirt contest at Fast Eddie's in Virginia Beach.
One and the same.
Has she ever spent any time in the area? She used to live there.
Sure.
Of course that's her.
Of course. Come on, wake up.
I'm so sad Banfield didn't make it, but I switched to the Cartoon Network, and that was just as good. Is it just me, or does the Flatlanders' Carmelita sound very similar to Delbert McClinton's When Rita's Gone? Well, Delbert should have recorded Carmelita. That's number one. Because there are a few people on the planet, in my mind, who can sing better than Delbert McClinton.
Yeah.
Period. Just period. It can take any lyric Delbert McClinton can, and man, there's just nobody who can perform it better than he can.
Ring it out.
Oh, man.
You know.
But Delbert didn't record it, did he?
No, he didn't.
He won't listen to me.
I don't.
Wants to record, I don't know.
When Rita's
Well, he's got a new album. It'll be out in September. We'll see. Just trying to help him. I love Delbert. That's right.
Give him some Vicodin and then trying to help him.
Delbert keeps winning these Grammys. He must be doing something right.
Yep.
So maybe he doesn't need as much help from me as I think he does.
Something's working out.
It's time for the news, and here with that is my friend Charles McCoy. Good morning, Chuck.
Morning, I'm
Sorry you don't feel well, bro. But...
Well, thank you. The Orange County, California Sheriff says police are getting closer, as Shelley Smith said, every minute to finding this guy who kidnapped and brutally murdered 5-year-old Samantha Runyon. Mike Corona tells NBC's Today Show program that law enforcement officials worked through the night serving search warrants at various locations and gathering, as he put it, a tremendous amount of evidence. He was also asked whether he believed the perpetrator would try and strike again.
You have an individual who is a sexual predator. That's guaranteed. We also have an individual who, because of his sexual deviancy, has decided to kill a young girl. We know by the profiles of those types of individuals that sexual predators generally will strike again. And once they've tasted the thrill of death because of their sexual deviancy, they may kill again. Those are concerns that we have, and that's why we're moving so quickly to bring this man to justice.
Yeah, y'all tell me how you feel about the death penalty now, as Bernie said yesterday.
And a Salt Lake City woman, reportedly has said in an affidavit that her sister saw Richard Reese in Cheyenne, Wyoming, 2 days after the Elizabeth Smart abduction. A Salt Lake City TV station says an affidavit claims a woman spotted Reese digging fence holes in Cheyenne 2 days after the girl was taken from her bedroom. The woman also reportedly has pictures of this guy in a tan golf cap like the one Elizabeth's sister says the kidnapper wore. Reese worked as a handyman for the girl's family and is being investigated in her disappearance. And the man known as the 20th hijacker in the September 11th attacks tried to plead guilty in court yesterday, to charges of conspiracy in the assaults. However, the judge refused to accept the plea from Zacharias Mazawi. When asked to enter a plea, he first attempted to enter a pure plea, but when told that was not permitted, he later said he wanted to plead guilty. District judge said she would be entering a plea of not guilty on his behalf. However, when he continued to demand she accept his guilty plea, she stopped the hearing and said she would reconvene in a week to see whether or not he had changed his mind. He said in court, that the jury will be able to evaluate how much responsibility I have. I am guilty. Now the question is, how much? So a strange and bizarre episode there in the courtroom in Alexandria, Virginia.
What a mess. 12 minutes after the hour. Here on the IMUS Morning Program. More news if Chuck survives coming up.
All right, here now on the IMUS in the Morning program, our old friend Scott Muni. Scotzo.
So I'm in Monterey with Jimmy, Janice, and Morrison, and we're smoking some Madagascan blonde hash mixed with Ajax and kitty litter out of a bong that Wavy Gravy made from a saxophone and a goldfish bowl. After 2 hits, I start seeing lawn gnomes dancing out of Jimmy's afro. What? Oh, Scotzo here with you, having a little 60s flashback, reminiscing about the summer of love, and how with all the contraband substances I ingested back then, technically I shouldn't remember a single second of it. But as a responsible celebrity, I don't want to glorify or glamorize drug use. Drugs are bad. Need proof? Tune your TV to MSNBC and look at the Methuselah and the cowboy hat there on your screen. That's what drugs will do for you, kids. Back in the early 80s, if it weren't for that guy, the Bolivian economy would have collapsed. That's why I find it so troubling that now, after 15 years of sobriety, the I-Man has become a pusher. And even more disturbing, that he's trying to turn his best friend into an addict. Charles McCord, a man who's so straight-laced, even the Amish think he's a narc. Chuck's about as much of a counterculture subversive as William F. Buckley at a John Birch Society meeting. During the 70s, McCord wouldn't even wear a leisure suit, as he thought they made him look a little too much like a hipster. He's not much of a drinker either, outside of the occasional Brandy Alexander at Christmas. But he's been ill of late and in pain. So the I-Man gave him a little chemical anesthetic, forced a Vicodin on him, and poor Chuck damn near OD'd. Only took him about a minute and a half to peak, but he went over the moon, as in Keith. One phone call to poison control away from choking on his own vomit. Because Charles is the only member of the world population alive during the 60s who's never done drugs. Therefore, his tolerance level for pharmaceuticals is approximately that of a newborn preemie puppy. This is a guy who can't even take a St. Joseph's Children's aspirin without getting a buzz. He does an Alka-Seltzer and he sees trails. He's not exactly like the guy in Carmelita, all strung out on heroin on the outskirts of town. And he's not IMUS either, a man who at the height of his Peruvian marching powder period had to use a soup ladle for a Coke spoon. I-Man's built up an immunity from all the years of his abuse. He could swallow a handful of elephant tranquilizer and not feel even a little bit logy. You know that warning label on painkillers about not taking them and operating heavy machinery? IMUS could do a handful each of 500 milligram Valium and Percodan and then go right out and run a backhoe. Chuck's system is so fragile he has trouble with anything stronger than a Diet Sprite. And yet, despite this delicate constitution, I-Man thought it prudent to give his old loyal pal a Vicodin. Because IMUS has got plenty. In fact, enough left over from when he needed him back during his horse bucking incident that at current street value, he could probably run his cattle ranch for the next 20 years off the cash he'd get from the stash. Which makes me believe that IMUS's intentions weren't all that altruistic. I-Man needs money. Chuck's the closest and easiest target. Sure, he didn't sell Charles that Vicodin, but that's what dealers always do. The first one is free.
And now it's time for America's favorite daytime fun show, Let's Make a Dope Deal. Yeah, it's Let's Make a Dope Deal, where young pushers try to parlay their stash into that really big connection and jump up into dealerhood. And our first contestant today on Let's Make a Dope Deal is former head of the philosophy department at Harvard University. Okay, you ready to play our game?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Now, you know the rules. You get fronted with a stash of 50 keys, and you can wager part of them or just some of them on any one of our tests.
50 keys?
50 keys.
Can I quit now?
No, not yet. You have to play our game. Okay, how many you want to wager on the first test?
All of them.
All of them is going to shoot the works or main line, as we call it here on Let's Make a Dope Deal. Okay, for 50 keys. What is your name? You have 60 seconds.
Hey, I know that one.
Father, what is it, man? This is what I do when I come in here, man. Don't tell me. Happy birthday.
10 seconds.
IMUS in the morning.
Cheese and jar there. The Ionic Breeze Air Purifier from Sharper Image was like a fan, but let me hear it. Talk to me, baby. Come on, here.
The liberals are chasing Enron unfairly. They didn't game electrical energy to California, gouge middle-class tax-paying citizens who sent their sons and daughters to war, inflated their utility bill so that they could make more money, then bail before the stock. That's fine with you. You still want us to go after Whitewater. What a treasure trove was that?
No.
How many millions? How many months? How many people?
Because
Go ahead. Make your point. Go ahead. You've made your...
Actually, you're the one who wants to keep talking about Clinton. I'm the one who wants to talk about my book.
Enron is
and
fine.
really, I don't
Enron
mind
is a good thing?
Enron as much as I mind you losing the entire viewing audience when I'm trying to sell a book by going through these tedious charges. As I say, only liberals could slander people through the boredom of their charges.
She held her own there.
Yeah.
Didn't she?
Yeah. She sure did.
Yeah.
She held her own throughout the whole interview.
Here's Christy Musumeci now with a scum report appropriately.
I-
Were you
I-
ever in...
What? Go ahead.
Did you ever live in Virginia Beach?
Yeah, I did, but I don't know who that was written by.
Christy,
I'm telling you the
you
truth.
can tell us.
I was a news anchor in Norfolk, Virginia.
Your boyfriend is not listening, probably. Didn't he on a business trip somewhere?
He's back. He was in
Oh, he's
Germany.
back.
Yeah.
Probably asleep. Hungover.
No, he's at work.
Okay, so he's not watching. Tell us what happened.
Nothing happened. I don't know who wrote that. Some enemy. I'm telling you, I never have
You got in a wet T-shirt contest,
been in a
didn't
wet.
you?
No.
And you lost, didn't you?
Believe me, it's not like I've got so much up there to be showing it off in a wet T-shirt concert.
They told her no guys can
contest.
apply here. No guys allowed to enter the contest.
Sid's got more than I do, right? That's your joke.
What's going on?
Breastises. Well, let's talk about the man who's perhaps the most amusing person out there next to Mama Iverson, Congressman James Traficant, the Ohio Democrat. He must figure, well, might as well go out with a bang. Maybe he's hoping to get a job as a comedian when he gets out of jail. Some of the highlights now of him appearing before this House committee.
If someone in the audience has a cough drop, I'd appreciate it. My throat is sore. I'm having some rectal disorders, as a matter of fact, as a result of this. My stomach is upset, and I am hard to live with. I want you to disregard all the opposing counsel has said. I think they're delusionary. I think they've had something funny for lunch in their meal. I think they should be handcuffed to a chain link fence, flogged, and all of their hearsay evidence should be thrown the hell out. And if they lie again, I'm going to go over and kick them in the crotch. Thank you very much. What do you want, a picture of my crotch next here? Christ, give me a break.
The man is obsessed with crotches.
You know what? Keep the guy in Congress. He's colorful. The rest of them are crooks as well.
He is so
Yeah, by the way, some of them got caught.
Does he bring some life to the damn place?
He does.
And we have Ron and Santa hanging here, so
All
hurry
right,
up.
that's it.
Okay.
All right.
Christy Musumeci here on the Irish Morning Program, and now from CNBC, Ron and Santa. We had Lou Dobbs on early this morning. And now Ron. Good morning, Mr. Insana. How are you?
Line 7?
Yep.
Okay.
Seven's up.
Ron? Okay, apparently Ron dropped out.
Okay, here on line 6 is Bob Kerr from MSNBC. Good morning, Bob.
Hello?
How are you?
Hello?
Who am I talking to?
It's Ron and Sana.
How you doing, baby?
I'm doing all right, baby. How are you doing?
I'm fine. So we talked to Lou Dobbs earlier this morning.
Yes?
And about the AOL thing.
Oh, yeah.
The racing groove, which is going to make it easier to get around and easier to pass. It was won last year by Dale Jarrett. And Jeff Gordon has been among the dominant drivers there, though. He may break out.
Said you're a criminal.
You are a criminal. Jeff has a winless streak of 26 races. He may break it. At Loudon, New Hampshire, and New England 300. They think.
It'll be on NBC TV, right?
Yes, sir, it certainly will.
Instead, I know
At,
you'll
2
be...
p.m. Eastern.
You'll be foregoing that British Open.
No, by golly, it'll be on TNT.
Oh, it will.
Huh. TNT, yeah. Pre-race show at 1:30. Yeah, TNT.
I'll watch it. I tell you, I missed the Darrell Waltrip reports on this show on Fridays.
Poor Chuck sounds like he's going through puberty. So that America Online Instant Message. Sounds like Lizzie Grubbin doing the news.
Oh, man.
Does Waltrip ever coming back?
I don't know.
It's a shame he was...
I think he got irritated because Fred was hammering him.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, he may be back next week.
Oh.
Matter of fact.
Really?
Yeah.
Show needs him. He was average at best, to be quite frank, but he was very educational. I remember I'll never forget that day when we asked him about what they do in the pits, and he said, well, they fill the car up with gas.
Change the tires.
I mean, Darrell, this guy's got to be kidding me.
Here's another America Online Instant Message. What's up with Bernie? Is MSNBC paying him a bonus to plug their loser shows? Donahue and Matthews are liberal, self-serving, self-absorbed pigs. Donahue was disgraceful last night. Matthews is disgraceful every night.
No, I know they're left-wing Marxists, but they do decent shows. Come on, they have right-wing people. I had Ann Coulter on last night.
Here's America Online instant message number 3. Hey, Dick's Liquors might be a funny little name. That's the liquor store over in Las Vegas, New Mexico. But in Peabody, Massachusetts, there's a legitimate business called Bunghole Liquors.
No, there's not. Come on.
Well,
it's Naja Davenport owns that.
Here's a good one. Chrissy has nice ones. That's great.
Yeah.
It's a nice outfit on today, I think.
Yeah, she looks very pretty.
She does, right, Charles?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. Agree with that.
Here's another one. I hate country music, Republicans, your show, and sports.
Oh, you got that?
He was great. Well, those are the people who like him.
Yep.
I hate country music, I hate Republicans, I hate sports, and they hate me. So, all right. What's going on, Sid? How many sets have we done, Lou?
2.
Oh, okay. Sid, let's do another set, then we'll get back to you, okay?
That's a great idea, I mean.
Stop making fun of Charles.
I can't help it. It's too easy right now between Charles half dead here and you got to go through I don't know how many tanks of oxygen just to do one show.
This is not good.
We're running out of time.
I don't have to go through any oxygen to do any show.
We're running out of time, my man.
I'm much better.
You are. You look better. You sound better. You look great. I meant to tell you that. You look like beautiful. I got it. Yeah.
Yeah, great.
IMUS in the morning.
Bunghole Liquors, it exists.
Really? You been there?
Well, it's one of those places you just got to go in.
Can't you go in the back door?
No, the front door.
Yeah. Dope. Here's Sid Rosenberg. Good morning, Sid.
So stupid.
That was very good. I mean, yeah, that was great. I mean, it's on fire today. You were talking about...
I'm going to throw up.
Yeah, in Fuego. You were talking about auto racing just a little while ago, and we all know that Al Unser Jr. Last week or 2 weeks ago got in a fight with his girlfriend in the car. He actually smacked her around a little bit, and he's got his apology, and I don't know. You guys tell me if you think that if it seems sincere to you. Doesn't seem so to me, but here it is. Here is Al Unser talking about the mistake he made when he smacked his girlfriend around.
My emotions today begin with embarrassment and remorse. I am deeply sorry and embarrassed by the situation that occurred last week and my poor judgment I've shown in the past regarding my life's choices and decisions I've made.
The end. I mean, give me a break.
Sincere as Lizzie Grubman's performance yesterday.
God, I mean, that is pathetic.
That is embarrassing.
Isn't that terrible?
Yeah.
Why say anything?
Exactly. You're better off just shutting up. There was nothing sincere about that. It was written for him, and he read it straight from the paper. He is going into alcohol rehab, though, so he's on his way back. And who knows, maybe in the year 2017 he can enjoy the benefits that the I-Man has enjoyed with his 15 years of sobriety. Well, congratulations, I-Man, and a happy anniversary. God loves you.
Here's to you.
Yeah. Also, by the way, Derek Rogers, linebacker in Miami, went into a restaurant a couple days ago and saw his wife sitting there with another guy and went on to pick up a chair and smash the guy over the head and then kick and punch his wife in the chest. But his wife seemed very apologetic when she talked about the Derek Rogers incident.
He didn't kick me. He nudged me to hurry up. Nudged me to hurry up and so that we can go home. As you can see, I am completely, utterly fine.
Yeah. So
He was trying to punch a fly between my eyes.
What
That's
is
what
the
he was
matter
doing.
with these women?
I don't get it.
I mean, you know.
It's the money. It's the money. That's what it comes
Call
down
the
to.
police and get out of there.
Yeah, but then she'd be forfeiting millions and millions of dollars.
I had a
Not
grapefruit
worth
on my
it.
chest, and he was just cutting the grapefruit, and then next thing you know, I got sliced. That's all what
Punk putting
happened.
his hands on you.
I'm with you. I don't know.
But what's she doing in a restaurant with another guy?
Well, I don't know. I don't have any more specifics than what I told you.
You know, I mean, you give it a kick in the ass. It's not the worst thing in the world.
No.
Sitting there with another guy.
Right.
I don't think you
That's
got
your wife.
I think you can have a conversation about it. Why do we have to resort to any kind of violence?
Conversation.
Yeah.
Could be some
What?
provocation.
Are you hosing my wife?
Hey, bitch, what's going on here?
That's a conversation, I guess.
Yeah. What's up with this?
Like Alan said,
And then
where
when
the F my wife at?
Once you resolve the conversation, you find out what's going on,
Then you smash him over the head with a chair and kick her right in the chest.
There you go.
Yeah. I'm not condoning that, of course. I think it's disgusting. But
you both are morons, Neanderthal idiots. Jesus God.
Big matchup at the stadium tonight, of course. It's the Yankees and the Red Sox. Pedro Martinez on the mound for Boston. Mike Mussina, will make the start for the Yankees. Big series. Both teams playing very well right now. Both teams
Red Sox 3 out.
Red Sox are exactly 3 out. That's right. Do you know what that means, Iman?
Yes, they won all 3 games. They're tied.
Wow.
Look at
that. What college did the Iron go to? You just got no words for it.
I'm telling you.
That's speechless.
Think about this for a second.
Beautiful mind, indeed.
Think about that for a second. 3 games up on the Red Sox.
Mm-hmm.
Red Sox win all 3 games, and you've got a tie.
Hold on a second. Go slower.
Let's slow this down.
Not only that, he had the line coming in the back door.
I'm telling you. Now you know why.
Running a ranch.
Now you know why it's called the IMUS in the Morning Show. If there was any doubt before why, now you know why. Now you know why just 2 weeks ago, this man right here on the screen with his pink shirt was put into the Cable Television Hall of Fame. Right?
A legend.
You are all fired. Get out of my life.
Flop down in my easy chair and turned on channel 2. A bad gunslinger called Salty Sam with a chasing post we suit. He trapped her in the old sawmill and said with an evil laugh,
"If you don't give me the key to your ranch, I'll saw you all in half."
And then he grabbed her. And then he tied her up. And then he turned on the buzzsaw. And then a long day, IMUS in the morning.
Looking for a truly great... He watched the show for 45 minutes to get a feel, to get into the Ironman's psyche. And then he was on the phone with his producer, and he missed my call by a minute, for which he is eternally apologetic over.
Not accepted.
He does apologize. That's what he says. Not accepted.
Save it.
Can it?
Yeah. We'll need that.
Things happen sometimes.
This is not the first time it's happened with him, is it?
I don't know, but I know...
you don't know? You're the producer. What do you mean you don't know?
I would say that there have been occasions where we've had him wait. We've set a date, and then asked him, and he was very gracious, and he says, no problem. You want to be 7 minutes late? Ain't no thing.
Well, that's irrelevant. That happens all the time.
Exactly.
Happens on the Today Show. Happens here. You be ready to go. That's all.
At your scheduled time.
You just stand there.
Anything could happen.
Stand
Don't blame me for getting behind with spots.
Well, who do I blame?
You blame them because they're not there. Or don't offer that as some sort of rationale or excuse. That because I'm late putting guests on sometimes, that means they can call late. That's not what that means.
It's inexcusable, but things happen sometimes, that's all. That's all I'm saying. I'm just trying to be a Henry Kissinger.
Well, you need to put on about 100 pounds.
You're going to do them a little better, too.
Yeah.
You're coming off like mad.
Uh-oh.
No, you're just about to do it. That's why.
Got a little dissension in the control room, huh?
What do you mean, IMUS? I want you to hug and kiss this Matthews guy.
Coming up in 10 minutes.
That's bad.
That was bad.
You've done better than that before.
Yeah, you've done it better.
Wow, what am I, a seal?
10 minutes after the hour, here on the IMUS in the Morning program. Well, I don't know. What's going on? We just can't get people to cooperate, and that's, we're just trying to help. That's all we're trying to do. So the big story out of Wall Street and the business community is that Bob Pittman was forced to walk the plank over there, decided to resign, and was greeted in this morning's paper with some rather unflattering assessments of his tenure.
Yep.
Man, here is the headline in the New York Times. Could just as well be in the New York Post. The fading fortunes of AOL's Bob Pitchman. On his ascent by Amy Harmon. On his ascent to the number 3 position in the world's largest media company, Robert W. Pittman earned the nickname Bob Pitchman, the best marketer of his time. But as Mr. Pittman resigned his post at AOL Time Warner yesterday under pressure from the company's board, it appeared that he had fallen victim to his own sales pitch. Once seen as a master manager who could serve as the bridge between the old media and the new, Mr. Pittman came to personify the failures of the AOL Time Warner merger.
Ugly. That's ugly.
That's proved to be a disaster.
That is ugly.
They're even charging that he and others at AOL Time Warner jiggled their figures so that the Time Warner deal would go down. The merger would go down in the first place. So, that they claimed they had more advertising revenues than they actually had, that things were painted a far rosier picture than was appropriate. And what happened? The house of cards came down, didn't it?
Boy, it did. Tumbled, man. Oof.
I mean, this is from Paul Tharp, who's a well-respected business guy writing for the New York Post.
Yeah.
AOL may have distorted its books with accounting tricks to make sure its marriage to Time Warner wouldn't end at the altar. That's his lead paragraph. On the eve of the historic $106 billion merger of the two companies, AOL's brass began using heavy-handed accounting shuffles to give an appearance that its shaky advertising sales were solid. Any negative news about AOL's ad problems could have endangered the merger. Setting up what analysts call a game of three-card Monte, AOL management, headed by then-President Bob Pittman, conceived a number of accounting strategies to prop up their dream world, according to this report. The flaky game plan helped AOL boost its ad revenue by as much as $270.1 million. Well, that's, I don't know if that's...
This one-eyed weasel will still live like a king for the rest of his life.
Oh, yeah, I see. Did you see what he's going out with?
No.
Cashed-in stock options worth $66.1 million, and he has more that could hit $75 million when the stock improves, when and if.
Yeah.
So he's fine.
Well, he's not going to have to go program C100.
No, he's not.
He's not going to be wearing a uniform with his name on it.
Although the Times closes its article by quoting an unnamed industry executive who says, Mr. Pittman may not be able to keep quite as low a profile as he might like. It's going to get worse for Bob before it's going to get better. End quote.
What does that mean?
I don't know, but it just